My wife said I could make this vlog rant, but only if I didn't lose my sense of humor about it, and I'm like,
me not be funny?
That's impossible.
Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and it's been a while since my last COVID lockdown rant, but I have been getting frustrated the last few weeks. I've been getting frustrated at the increasingly draconian and arbitrary lockdown measures the governments are imposing on us. I have been getting frustrated that the people imposing these draconian lockdown measures on us themselves seem not to be following them, whether it's Chuck Schumer in New York, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, or Gavin Newsom in California. But the other day, I saw a tweet from our Quebec Premier François Legault about an advertisement that the Quebec government had put together to boost Quebec morale, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, or as we say in French,
Le goutte d'eau qui fait déborder la vase.
Except there is no camel, there is no vase, there is just me ranting at a camera from the comfort of my home office, my car. This government ad irritated me on so many levels, but first I'm going to play the ad for you, interrupting periodically to translate what is going on in the ad because it's a French ad and I am too lazy to add subtitles. Plus, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you know that I am not only prone to making typos, I seem to be incapable of not making typos, so it's just going to be easier to do it this way.
Fait qu'on a plus de dingue qu'on pensait. Ça change nos plans, mais il y a des bons côtés.
So here we have an actor. I don't know who he is, and I don't know if I'm supposed to know who he is because he's from Quebec and I'm from Quebec, but whatever. We have an actor here saying, so we have more turkey than anticipated. That changes the plans, but there is a good side to it.
Hey, tu veux ça, la mode des mini-maisons?
Ton mononcle qui a un opinion sur tout?
Moi, j'en veux pas tout.
Now, I speak French, I consider myself to be perfectly bilingual, and I had to replay this at least 15 times to understand what he said. He says, like my uncle, who has an opinion on everything.
Ah, c'est tellement intéressant, mon oncle, wow!
And I don't think you need to speak French to actually understand this portion. He says, oh, isn't that interesting, my uncle, wow.
Et pas besoin de pratiquer ta phase de Nicole, t'aurais pas dû!
Here he says, and you don't have to practice your face, Nicole, you shouldn't have.
Mais surtout parce que le plus beau cadeau, c'est la santé. Cette année, on fête chacun chez soi.
And here the actor says, above all else, because health is the greatest gift, this year we are all going to celebrate Christmas chez nous at our own places. And then to highlight the fact that there is a very thin line between tragedy and comedy, the guy ends with the following joke.
Oh non, comment le facteur va faire m'amener mes cadeaux?
As he is trapped in a snow globe in front of a Christmas tree, he says, oh no, how is the mailman going to deliver my Christmas presents? On garde le moral means we keep up the morale, everyone stay positive. Now, I'm not going to hide it. Everything except for one thing about this commercial drives me absolutely nuts, and the only thing I happen to like about this commercial is that stupid face the guy is making when he looks in the mirror. But above and beyond that goofy face, everything about this commercial drives me nuts. It represents everything that is wrong with the government, starting with the tone-deaf nature of this ad, and because Twitter is good for venting frustration, that's exactly what I did. Beautiful house, great lighting, the best electronic devices, only the most privileged government officials think everyone else lives the way they do, even assuming they respect their own, quote, rules, end quote. I really want everyone to fully appreciate that. There is truth in comedy, but there is also tragedy in comedy. This is a commercial produced by the government of Quebec, and they are making it look like it is hunky-dory for everyone to just stay home for Christmas alone. This dude has the biggest and most well-lit kitchen I have ever seen, with the newest appliances, an amazing stove, a tabletop full of food, pretending this is the reality for everyone else in the province, and that it's no big deal to be told to stay in your home at Christmas time. To be told that you cannot see friends and family at Christmas time. To be reassured that it's not going to be so bad, not so depressing, garde la morale, because the government thinks that you live in this opulent kitchen. And to break out the meme,
But wait, there's more!
this guy clearly has 12-foot ceilings, a brand new iPad, and a backyard big enough to play a football game in. Oh yeah, that and his house is apparently immaculately clean. And that end image of him trapped in a snow globe in front of the Christmas tree. When I say tone deaf, above and beyond the government creating a commercial to reflect a reality that is probably not a reality for the majority of Quebecers, they think that it's a good image for us to be trapped in a snow globe in front of a Christmas tree
At Christmas time.
Who put this commercial together and who gave it the green light to go? Now, I don't want anybody thinking that I am complaining about my personal situation. I happen to be among the most fortunate and I recognize it. I mean, our house looks nothing like the house in this commercial. Our floors have been ravaged by years of a dog peeing and pooing on them. Our couch looks like something out of the Ghostbusters set. I think our roof might be ready to cave in. There's a crack in the ceiling and I don't know how it got there. And this, look at this light. We wanted to be good citizens, so we got those eco-friendly lights that are supposed to last for like 500 hours, except they did not allow the light fixture to go back the way it was supposed to go back, so I screwed it in upside down like an umbrella. And then, because apparently those lights are like 50-50 and some last forever and some go out after a month, the light went out after a month, and that was 9 months ago. Now, I'm not complaining, I'm just highlighting the fact that I am an idiot. And then this morning, I wake up and notice that the heaters aren't working, so I go down into the furnace to see what's going on, and it sounds like there is an elephant peeing in the furnace room, and I see that our 40-year-old water heater is just dumping water all over the floor. I am not complaining, full stop. Our house looks nothing like the house in this commercial. I don't think anybody's house actually looks like this guy's house in this commercial, but we are fortunate. We have everything we need. We have broken floors, but that means we have a floor. We have cracked and peeling paint on our ceilings, but that means we have a ceiling. We have a leaking water heater in the basement. It's been fixed incidentally, but that means we have heat in the house. And as far as I am concerned, I pretty much already have everyone I would ever want to spend Christmas with in the house already. Mom and Dad, you know I would like to have you there, but I'm just not allowed because the government says I can't. And now we have the government creating ads to tell everybody it's not going to be so bad, just stay home, as if everyone lives in the luxury that this guy in this commercial lives like. And what bothers me the most about all of this, they're doing it on our taxpayer dollars. And I took to Twitter to say as much. This is terrible and above all else an insult to be using our tax dollars to create government propaganda to justify your unconstitutional usurpation of our most basic civil rights and liberties at François Legault. Imagine telling citizens to celebrate Christmas alone. And for those of you who don't read French, this is what François Legault's original tweet says. Here is the new publicity from our government for the holiday season. This year, everyone celebrates at their own place, but we keep the morale up. And if you thought my rant was going to end here...
Wait till I get going! Where was I?
For the last 8 or 9 months, I have been having what I think to be a humorous exchange with a friend of mine, or at least I hope he still is a friend of mine, where every now and again I send him a message and say, have they gone too far yet? When 2 weeks turned into 2+ months, I said,
Have they gone too far yet?
when flatten the curve turned into plank the curve, whatever on earth that means, I said,
Have they gone too far yet?
when masks became mandatory with massive fines of $800 or more, I asked,
Have they gone too far yet?
and the other day, after having seen this commercial, my wife got a text and I screenshotted that text, sent it to my friend and said,
Have they gone too far yet?
emergency alert. And I'm going to read you the English part, which is the second half. Quebec alert ready. Public health emergency in effect. All public and private gatherings remain prohibited in red zones, and participants are subject to fines without notice. Police presence has been increased. You are asked to comply with public health instructions. Ladies and gentlemen, we officially are living in a police state. When you get a text on your cell phone, an unsolicited text on your cell phone saying public and private gatherings are banned, police presence has been increased. This is a police state. Some of you out there might be ushering it in because you think it is for our own protection, you think it is for our own safety. That doesn't change the fact that we are currently living in an absolute police state. And the wording of this notification. All public and private gatherings remain prohibited in red zones and participants are subject to fines without notice. First of all, what does that even mean without notice? Second, what is a public gathering? If I'm in the park with my kid and my neighbor's also in the park with their kid, is that a public gathering subject to a fine without notice? And third, and perhaps most importantly, we have something in Canada called a
Constitution.
And reading from the Department of Justice website, Section 2C of that Constitution says the following. 2C, Tushy. Okay. Section 2C, freedom of peaceful assembly. Everyone has the following fundamental freedoms. Freedom of peaceful assembly. Did my wife just get a text message that took away her fundamental constitutional rights? And why didn't I get the text message, by the way? I think the government is trying to set me up. We live in a world today where the government can send you an unsolicited text message notifying you that they have just taken away your fundamental constitutional rights. And my question is,
Have they gone too far yet?
I say this tongue-in-cheek, but there is truth in jest. We are actually living in an abusive relationship with our government. I am not saying this to belittle or demean abusive relationships, and there is no but to that, full stop. I say this seriously, and for anybody who doesn't know what the signs of an abusive relationship are, just Google it, but I'm going to go to a Huffington Post article to make my point. 10 signs that you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. Here are 10 signs that you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. Your partner is very controlling. If you feel like you need to ask permission from your partner to do things. If they're the ones who get to make all the major decisions. Or if you sometimes feel like they're more your parent than your partner, and an autocratic parent at that, you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. Your partner is rigid and unreasonable. If you You feel there's no point in trying to negotiate with them because they always manage to get their way, and because they never seriously consider your point of view, you have an emotionally abusive partner. You feel you need to tiptoe around your partner. If their temper is unpredictable and scary to you, or their cold contempt cuts like a knife, and if you find yourself being extra careful not to upset them because of this, your partner is emotionally abusing you. Speaking of tiptoeing, I went to my parents' house to walk their dog the other day, and I thought I was breaking the law by going in their house because technically, according to that text message, I was. But wait until you read this symptom of an abusive relationship. They discourage you from going back to school or getting a job. If they always have a, quote, good reason why you should be at home, taking care of the house and the kids, and you never have the opportunity to learn, grow, be challenged, or fulfill your potential, your partner is emotionally abusive. And if that indication doesn't blow your mind, wait until you read the next one. They talk you out of seeing your family and friends. Your partner's needs are always the priority. If your partner has no problem putting their own needs first, and if your needs are always described as foolish, excessive, or unreasonable, you're experiencing emotional abuse. And the last one from the article which I'm going to read, which kind of made me laugh but also made me cry inside. They constantly let you know that you wouldn't be able to cope without them. If they imply or tell you outright that you'd never manage without them, that you'd end up on the streets homeless without them to care for you, your partner is a typical emotional abuser. These are the 10 signs that you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. If you're experiencing any one of these things, you ought to think very carefully about the pros and cons of staying with this person. Sadly, the truth is that when one of the above 10 things is present, most of the others are as well. If you want a good relationship, sometimes the first step in creating one is by walking away from the emotionally abusive relationship you're currently in. The only problem with being in an emotionally abusive relationship with the government is that you can't get up and walk away from it. The only thing you can do is stand up to it. Or just piss and moan about it to a camera in your car for the rest of the world to see, which I guess is, in a way, a form of standing up to it, I hope. So, that is my rant. I'm not sure if I feel any better. I'm not sure if you out there having watched it feel any better. I don't know what people are going to do this holiday season. We are living in a world where the government is inch by inch taking away everything that made this society beautiful in the first place. I wholly appreciate the pressing concern, but there is a fine line between protecting society and suffocating it under the guise of protecting it. And I don't think it makes me an anarchist to say that there are certain lines that should never be crossed. Even in the context of an emergency, we have certain fundamental rights and liberties, and if they are not fundamental, we don't have them at all. When my government tells me that I can't have my own parents into my own private house while I continue to pay property taxes on that house, I don't think they have crossed the line. I think they have stomped all over it. All right, now my rant is really over. If you like my videos and you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm. If you want to support the channel, you know how, but more important than that, support yourself, support your friends and family, support your neighbors, make sure everyone around you is doing well, because it is going to be a very difficult Christmas for a lot of people, despite the rosy commercials that the government produces. And now you know your vlog. Peace out.